Hello everyone. In this video, we would be learning graphs of trigonometric ratios. The first ratio that we are looking at is y equals to sine x. So this is the most basic graph here. Let's start with it. First, we will be making the axis. And I've made this table over here. You can refer to this table as I'm making the values. So first of all, I will be marking my axis 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. I have 1 here, minus 1 here. So from 0, 90, maximum 1, 180, 0, 270, minus 1, 360, 0. You can refer to the table like I've made over there. And this is the curve of y equals to sine x. Okay, now let's study this curve a little bit. In this curve, first of all, you can see over here that the coefficient of sine x is 1 and the constant is 0, which means that my axis would be at 0. This is the axis. So you can see over here that my axis is at 0. So I'm labeling it my axis. Okay, after this, then there's 1 over here. Now 1 is the amplitude. What is amplitude? Amplitude is this range over here. This is the amplitude. From your axis, you have to go 1 upwards and 1 downwards in order to get a 1 and a minus 1. So this here is your amplitude. I'm writing it down. Okay. Then the other thing that you need to know is what is a period. This is a complete period. A period is a cycle. So if you have to start the next cycle, it would start from here like this. It would go down and up again to 720. So this is one complete cycle. So the complete cycle is starting from 0 and ending at 360 degrees. So this is my period here, and it is from 0 to 360 degrees. Okay. And what is the range? Range is the value of y, the maximum value and the minimum value. So the maximum value is 1 and the minimum value is minus 1. So I'm writing it down, minus 1 to 1. Okay, how did I get my maximum and minimum value? Let's study that now. So I got my maximum value by taking my axis and adding a 1 to it. So 0 plus 1, I'm writing it here, 0 plus 1 is 1. This is how I got my maximum value. And how did I get my minimum value? I got my minimum value 0 minus 1. So 0 minus 1 is minus 1. This is how I got my minimum value. So you can see the formula. The formula of maximum value is axis plus the amplitude. And the minimum value is axis minus the amplitude. So this is how you get these two values. Now I'm going to do a graph of a different equation. Let's start with that. And you can refer to the formulas above. Okay, so let's do the graph of y equals to 2 sine x plus 3. Let's make the axis first. And then we will mark what is our maximum and what is our minimum. First, let's see what is our maximum value and what is our minimum value and what is my axis here. So the axis I have here is 3. First, I will write down 3. Then I have the maximum value. I will find it by adding 3 and 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5 and 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so you can write down your range. Your range is from 1 to 5. Let's make the graph now. We have 0 here, 90, 180, 270, 360. I have to write down each and everything now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not writing down the extra things over here because I don't need them at all. Okay, first thing first, mark your axis. Your axis has to be at 3. So this is your axis. Okay, now from there, you have your minimum value as 1, maximum value is 5, right? Let's start plotting it. So we have this 3 starting point, which is the axis, 90 maximum, then again the axis, then the minimum, and then again the axis. So let's make them in a curve. Let's join them. And this is the graph of y equals to 2 sine x plus 3, as simple as that. Okay, let's move on to the graph of cos now. So the graph of cos, would be made using the table that I've written over here. Y equals to cos x. Let's make it. Okay, this is the most basic graph here. So 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. All right, after this, I have to write down a 1 here and a -1 here. Refer to the table, please. Okay, I'm writing down the values directly. So I'm starting from the maximum value, which is 1. I come down to 90, down to the minimum value, then up again, and then the maximum value again. Okay, and I'm joining them in a curve. So this will be, make sure you don't make a V because this is not a straight line graph. It's supposed to be a curve. So you will be joining like this in a smooth curve. Yeah, so this is your curve and the line is y equals to, curve is y equals to cos x. Okay, let's study this as well. So how did I get, what is the range over here? The range is from 1 to -1. So from -1 to 1, this is my range. How did I get my maximum value? I got my maximum value by, there's a 1 over here and there's a 0 over here as well. So 0 plus 1 is 1. This is the maximum value. And then the similar cases for the minimum value, which is 0 minus 1 is equals to -1. This is my minimum value. Okay, what is one complete cycle over here? So one complete cycle is from 0 to 360 again, because after this, my next cycle would start, right? So my period over here is from 0 to 360 degree. This is the period from 0 to 360 degrees. Okay, and this is the amplitude like earlier, nothing has changed. So this is the amplitude. Okay, let's move on to a different graph of y equals to cos x. Let's do this. Y equals to 3 cos x plus 1. Let's write down the basic information. So axis, maximum, there's no axis here. Okay, so we have maximum, we have the minimum. Maximum value will be 1 plus 3, which is 4. Minimum value will be 1 minus 3, which is -2. Okay, and the axis would be in between. So we have this x, let's make the axis first. Then let's put in the values 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. We have -2 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, -1 and -2. Okay, so let's start. Maximum value is 4. So I will be starting from 4. Then I will be coming down to 1. Where is the axis in this case? The axis is at 1. This is the axis, right? So let's make the axis first. This is the axis. Always remember to make your axis first because it becomes very, very easy. So maximum value is at 4. You come down to your axis. You come down to your minimum point. Again to the axis and then to your maximum point. Okay, now let's join them in a curve, nice and smooth like this. Try not to be shaky. Okay, so this is the graph of y equals to 3 cos x plus 1. I hope it's simple for you guys till here. And if you want to write down the range is -2 to 4. This is your range. All right, now is the graph of tan. So the graph of tan is a little bit different, not a little bit, actually a lot different. Y equals to tan x. Let's make the axis and we will be plotting just like the question is asking us to. So let's plot it. You can see over here that when I used my calculator to find these values, I included a 45, 135 and so on. So we have 0, we have 90 here, 180, 270 and 360. And in between we have these values. We have 45, 135, 225, 315. Okay, in the in between values. And then we have 1 over here and -1 over here. Okay, now there's a little bit difference over here. The difference is in making asymptotes. What is an asymptote? Asymptote is a line. These are vertical lines at 90 and 270, which give me a math error because there is no such value. There is infinity. So this is how we will be making asymptotes. These are asymptotes, if my spelling is not correct and not incorrect. So asymptotes. All right. Now let's start plotting it. At 45, it's 135 minus 1, 180 is 0, 225 1, 315 minus 1, and then 360 is 0. Now see how I am making it. It has to be very smooth. Okay, it's not going to meet this because it's an asymptote. The graph does not meet your asymptotes. It's going to be like this and like this. Okay, so this is the graph of y equals to tan x. How about a different graph now? Okay, first tell me the range. The range is infinity to infinity because obviously there's no maximum or minimum value over here. All right, and one complete cycle is from 0 to 360 like earlier. All right, let's move on to a different graph of tan. So let's do this. Y equals to, let's do a different one, 4 tan x. And you can see that there's no constant. So the axis is again a 0. All right, let's make it. Let's make the axis first. This is very simple, honestly. So we have 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, 45, and we have these values in between. All right, then we have a 4 over here. I'm writing down a 4 because I don't want to waste my time. And since I can see that the amplitude is 4, I'm directly writing a 4 and the axis is 0. So this is my axis over here. All right, now let's start plotting it. First thing first, we have to make the asymptotes. So the asymptotes are on 90 and 270. So 270 is over here. These are my asymptotes. Okay, let's plot it. This is going to go like this. Here, 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 and here. So like this and like this. This is the graph of y equals to 4 tan x. I hope it's clear to you till now. Okay, now let's move on to the graphs of a little bit complicated stuff. How about, this is the graph of y equals to sine x, right? But what if I don't have this? I have a different equation. My equation is now y equals to sine 2x. Do you see what I've added? There's x over here and now I've added a 2 with it. All right, so what do? Whenever you have a 2 with it or whenever you have a 3 with it, basically what you're going to do is you're going to divide your graph. You're going to squeeze your graph in. So the half of 360 is 180, which means your complete cycle has to end at 180 degree. And if, for example, it's something else, so you're going to squeeze it even more and it's going to end like this. So whatever you have, whatever value you have over here, you're going to divide your period with it. And that's how you will get to know what your complete cycle is. So let's make the graph of y equals to sine 2x. Now this is really, really simple, might seem a little bit difficult to you, but you'll see how simple it is. Okay, so I'm making it down. I'm making the same thing 0. There's, I have 90 here. I have 180, 270 and 360, right? And I'm going to write down the middle things. So the middle things are 45, 135, 225, 315. Okay, and there's 1 over here, so I'm writing 1 and a -1. All right, now just see how simple it is. So I start with a 0, go up at 1, come down at 90, come down to -1, then at 180, then at 1, then 270, then down below, and then back again at my axis. So my graph is like this. So smooth, like this. So how many cycles are there? There are 2 complete cycles here. 1 cycle and then 2 cycles. Okay, So can you tell me what is the period of this graph? The period of this graph is from 0 to 180 degrees, which is 0 to 180 degrees. This is my complete one period. Okay, and what is the amplitude? The amplitude is same, which is one here and one down below. Okay, let's move on to the graph of cos x now. This is the graph of cos x. What would be the graph of y equals to cos 2x? The same thing would apply. Your graph would squeeze in again. So you will start from 1, you will come down here like this. This is what your graph of cos x, cos 2x would look like. All right, let's start and you'll see how I'm making it. All right, everything is same. It's just that you're adding one more value over here. So we have 90, 180, 270, 360. I'll just enlarge it. This is 45, 135, 225, and then 315. I have one over here, minus one over here. So highest maximum value, then 45, then minimum value, up again, down, down, up, and up. Okay, perfect. Let's join it. So do not forget that it's not supposed to be a V and one cycle. Then this is the second cycle. So there are two cycles, which means that one complete cycle is from 0 to 180 degree. From 0 to 180 degree, you have one complete cycle. All right, so let's move on to the last graph, which is y equals to tan x. This is the graph of y equals to tan x. What would the graph of y equals to tan 2x look like? This is very interesting. Okay, so the asymptotes were at 90 and 270, right? 90 and 270. What are the half of these? Since there's a 2 over here, I have to half everything. So 90 divided by 2 is 45. 270 divided by 2 is 135. Now you will see how I'm making it. Do not forget that whatever number you have over here, you have to divide it with the period so that you can see what your complete one period would be. Okay. All right, I'm just making it again. Okay. So like this. This will be a little bit extended because I want to show you guys what I'm making here. We have 45, 90, 135, 180, 225, 270, 315, and then 360. All right, my asymptotes will be on 90 divided by 2 is 45. So my first asymptote will be on 45. My second asymptote will be on 135 because 270 divided by 135 is divided by 2 is 135. Then I can make more asymptotes because in this case my range is from 0 to 360. If it's still 180, then just stop then there. You don't have to do anything unnecessary. Over here I have 0 to 360, so I want to show you guys how I'm going to make my asymptotes. So after 135, I'm going to go to 225. And then after 225, I'm going to go to 315 and I will stop over here. So since there were only two asymptotes in this case, now there are four asymptotes in this case. All right, so we have one over here, minus one over here, and I'm going to start plotting it. So I'm plotting it like this. Okay, so there's 22.5 and I'm making a one over here. Here, 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 down, up, down, and then up again. So if you want, you can write down these points here, but I'm just letting it be. Okay, let's join them. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, and the last one. Something happened to the last one. Okay, so this is the graph of y equals to tan 2x. So basically, the thing I'm trying to explain to you guys is that, for example, if you have y equals to sine 3x, then 360 divided by 3 is 120. That means your one complete cycle is going to end at 120. And for example, if it is 6x or whatever, you're going to divide this number by 360 in order to get how many number of cycles you will be getting. Okay, so I hope it's clear to you guys. If not, then please let me know. And if there's any past paper question that you want me to solve for you, I'm there to help. Thank you very much. Have a good day.